Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast. This is episode number 111, and it's going live on March the 8th, 2018. This week we have one of our friends, Jason Morris, silver medal Olympian, and his good friend, Johnny Gioeli from the band Hardline. But of course, before we get to our favorite guests, we got shit to bitch about.
It's a rant. It's a rant kind of day.
Bill, you want to go
I'm
first?
not gonna rant. I'm not gonna rant. You guys rant. I'm gonna.
Well, that's a first. Yeah. Okay.
Now I'm mad. Okay. I'll go ahead.
It's a short rant, and if anybody follows me on Facebook or any of those things, or anything else I posted recently, you'll know that I was ranting. So Metallica tickets went on sale last Friday, I think, or Thursday or Friday, for Indianapolis for the March 11th, 2019 show, which is over a year away. The cheapest tickets I could see online were like $135 or something like that, in that ballpark. And that didn't include the service charge, which I thought was just freaking ridiculous. And as I've been reading some stuff, so think about this. So 18,000 seats in Conseco Fieldhouse. Nah, what did they call it now? Bankers Life Fieldhouse. It's changed the name 3 times. I don't know.
And it's a shitty venue too.
I know. And if the cheapest seats are $135, the $135 times 18,000 is $2.4 million. Okay, that they're going to sit in the bank before they ever even roll into Indiana for a year. And Ticketmaster is going to charge you $15 a ticket, right, for a service charge, which is about $240,000. They're going to sit in the bank, and nobody's going to roll into the venue for a year. That is insane. Why are they doing that? What was wrong with the days back whenever we found out about a show like 6 weeks, 8 weeks before, and you stood in line? I mean, the student stand in line thing, I get all that, but what's the purpose? And the other thing about it is they put the pre-sale tickets on sale, and then they run out of pre-sale tickets. So when you go to get, or if you get pre-sale tickets, you also have to sort through all the resale tickets. Now, wait a minute. How can things be resaled before they're ever even
sold in the first place?
Well, that's because Ticketmaster is also the reseller. Does that seem odd to anybody else?
Well, it's they're their own not bootlegger. What's
their own scalpers?
Yeah,
Bullshit.
scalpers. It's legal.
It's just bullshit, and I'm sick of it, and I'm tired of it, and so I bought Rod Stewart tickets.
Good for you. Is that the one with Cyndi Lauper?
But
yeah.
But
I like to see that.
If you're going to go to a show, you don't have any options because they're the only ones that sell tickets, so you don't have any options. But it's just wrong. I mean, it's just inherently wrong. And so I've been reading stuff on the internet, and people are pissed off. And some people are like, "Well, it's Metallica, and it's going to cost that much money. I'm just going to go." And I'm like, I get it, but I'm not going to go. I mean, I would like to go. If the tickets were cheaper, I would go. Or if I could get a $135 ticket that was in a seat that you could actually see somebody in, I would go. Now, no, Alan, you got tickets, is that right?
Yeah, I've got tickets to the Louisville show, and I'm in section 310, row A, which is actually a pretty good seat. And,
okay, and that's
those tickets were the same price. I think two tickets after the ticket fees and service fees and all that other bullshit, those tickets were close to $350.
Yeah, see, that is freaking ridiculous.
But Lars needs the money because people have been stealing his music forever.
That's my point.
That's something that I was going to bring up. The biggest explanation that I've gotten about that for musicians in general is because their records don't sell because either people like Dennis and I are big Spotify users. We don't buy the albums very much anymore. We listen to them on Spotify and move along. You've got people who still pirate that, off of Pirate Bay or wherever the heck they get it now. So they've got to find another way to make money because even with the touring, they're still not making the money that comparable to what they were making 20 or 30 years ago.
Well, I get that piece of it. It's just
that's the most logical explanation
yeah.
that I've been given or that I've read. Whether that's the truth or not, I don't know. But the bottom line is those guys sell those tickets. Us dummies keep shelling out money. They're going to keep selling those tickets for that price.
I totally agree. We're feeding the beast. I get it.
But, here's something that I find humorous. The first concert that I went to was Kiss in 1987, and I paid $15.50 per ticket. And my aunt, who is 11 years older than me, saw Kiss 10 years before me for $5.50 or $6.50 for a ticket. And she was just flabbergasted that I would pay that much for a concert ticket. It's like, I'd like to pay that much for one now, which when you're done with your rant, I've got a ticket rant.
I'm done. I'm out.
I paid $9.50 for my Rush ticket for the Signals tour back then.
So, that's $9.50 too much.
Fuck you guys. Oh, by the way, is the Metallica concert or the tour? Is this their farewell tour?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
It's another welfare tour.
This is the Milk the Country tour.
Hardwired to take all your money tour.
Oh, the Hardwired tour, yeah.
All right.
I don't care about their news. I don't. Yeah.
Back to ticket prices. A friend of mine, his band is opening for Hairball, who's playing at the Victory Theater here in Evansville this coming Saturday.
What's Hairball?
It's kind of like Hairbangers Ball, or they do AC/DC, Kiss, Motley Crue, all of that
Tribute
stuff.
band kind of thing.
Well, the difference between this one and the others is there are a bunch of members of the band. When they do Kiss songs, if it's a Gene song, a dude comes out in Gene Simmons makeup, does the song. Same for
I've
Paul.
I've seen them online.
The AC/DC guy comes out looking like Brian Johnson, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Well, the tickets for that were $17. My buddy's band is opening. Well, hell yeah, I'm going to go. So I get up on the Ticketmaster website, and the ticket is $17.
Here we go.
Once I get done paying service fees and everything, the total cost was $34.60.
More than the ticket.
Twice.
So I paid more than twice the ticket price just for service fees.
And they're not doing anything. You got what sent to your phone?
Yeah.
You get they're not even having
there's
to
a
mail
$4.50 ticket fee. The ticket is a fucking digital barcode. Fuck off, Ticketmaster.
They're not even using paper, ink, nothing. I mean, it's
thievery, man.
It is. It's thievery. It is absolutely
that's what happens.
I don't want them to ban guns. They need to ban Ticketmaster.
Well, that's what happens
Nation,
when Clear Channel buys up all of the radio stations. That's what happens when Ticketmaster buys up all of the little Sunshine Promotions, Waxworks. I don't know the names of all of those promotions companies when we were much younger.
Little. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's like the old Lily Tomlin thing. We're the phone company. We don't have to care. We don't have any competition. It's the same with Ticketmaster. Ticket bastard.
Every now and then they send me a thing about how was your experience. I'm going to send them just back the finger.
Yeah. 2 words. One of them rhymes with truck.
Just shit in a little box.
I'm just going to send them back the finger emoji.
There you go. The only other thing that I wanted to bring up before we get started was the other night during the Oscars, it was reported that the guy who founded Tower Records died at the age of 92 watching the Oscars and drinking whiskey.
Well, good for him.
Well, good for him for the drinking the whiskey part.
Yeah, the
Why
Oscar
the hell
part.
were you bother watching the Oscars? Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna go, the dude was probably died happy, So
yeah, that's cool. Have you ever seen that? There's a documentary about that. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I've
watched it before. It's very cool actually. How they got that started and they ended up fighting with each other, and it's pretty cool. It's a neat thing.
Okay.
Well, that's all I've got. What do you got, Dennis?
All right. So real quick, I won't keep you guys long. Let me go first. Swag
It says
all
that.
Right. So we're gonna go. We have these hats, and what we're doing is we are selling these things at cost. We're not making a dime on these things, but anybody who wants these things, just contact us through our email or off of our webpage, whatever. These hats, they're $12.50,
How
and
about
these
this?
shirts.
Hold on a second. Send an email to contact@agesofrock.com.
There you go. I forgot about that. You changed that this week. Yeah. And then these shirts are actually these real good Gildan. They're the dry blend shirts with the logo on it, so they're real nice. 2X and under is $22, and if you're a big old happy guy that needs a 3X, that'll be $24.
And we have different colors, right?
Yeah, we've got, like I said, you've got a gray one, and Alan got a blue one. We've had one in red. Oh, and we do have women's shirts too, like the women's cut. My wife got one. I should have brought that in there. I don't know where the hell it's at.
What did you say? It was like this?
But they're the same. But it's the same price on those. Anything 2X and under is 22, and then go from there. So that's what we got right now. So if you're interested in it, it takes about a week. I put in an order every Sunday, and then we should get. So it takes a couple weeks. So be less than 6 weeks, like most of these other places that send you shit. So that's
how much is shipping handling, Dennis?
Shipping and handling is we're going to tack on about $7 because to ship these shirts is about $7. I got the envelopes that I put them in. They're a padded envelope, so that your T-shirt doesn't break. It's fragile equipment. But anyway, tack on another $7. The post office, okay, I'll rant about the post office. The post office is ridiculous too on their crap. I mean, they're like Ticketmaster, but they're run by the government. So anyway, also perks for the Rockin' Pod Expo 2 coming up is August
25th.
25th. There we go.
Uncle Gene's birthday. How can you forget that?
We've got some perks for
show up.
He's
going to show up.
We got we got perks going on again this year. So what we set it up is for $50 you can get a ticket for to come to the expo. Early entry, so you can get to the good rec because they'll have some record dealers and some other stuff there. Then also that gets you a co-hosting on this show, and you can pick a topic if you'd like.
Who's leaving?
Oh, we're gonna have 4 of us at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see.
I thought maybe we were drawing straws or something.
That's for $50. For $75, add another $25, you get the shirt. And
what a deal!
All the other stuff. Yes. And all this money goes to the GoFundMe site for the Rockin' Pod Expo, and it helps pay for the building, pays for getting this thing all together, and it is a good time. And like I said, there's going to be all kinds of. They had a lot of people there last year. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people show up again this year. So, if you get a chance and you want to go, if you just want to be on this show, I mean, that's a pretty good deal. So, anyway,
I would pay $50 to be on this show.
Yeah, me too. And pick a decent topic, So anyway.
Yeah, you get to pick a topic. We won't even let Dennis pick the topic.
All right. I get shot down all the time anyway. It's like a skeet shooting thing over here. It's like, pow! That was a terrible one. So anyway, that's what we got. So I'm done, dudes. You wanna hear a good interview?
Oh, that interview is awesome.
Well, but before we get to the interview, let's talk about the Indianapolis Kiss Expo.
Oh, we are. Oh, we don't know. Are you still teetering?
I still don't know. I have to find a replacement.
Well, we'll have 2 of the 3 of us guaranteed to be there. We do have a table up there. We got a brand new banner. Bill,
don't talk about this. Don't talk about it.
Okay.
It's special. You have to come.
Okay.
It can still be special because they haven't seen it yet.
That's true. But it's big and brown and really long, and
that's just the container. It
comes with its own stand.
But anyway, we are going to be up there.
Can't support itself.
And I tell you what, this Indianapolis Expo is turning into be this. It's going to be a fantastic show. I mean, you're going to see the Cooley Brothers playing. You're going to see probably a Fraley's Comet reunion at some
4x8.
4x8. It's going to be just awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really looking good.
Well, they're expecting, between 12 and 1,500 people to show up. So
We got to buy some more shirts, man.
Yeah.
We got to print some more cards.
Yeah, we need cards. Yeah, we got those cards too.
man, that's a pretty nice design.
That's a good-looking card.
That is a good looking
Yep.
card.
Cool.
All right.
If
All
only
right.
we knew a better graphic designer.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Johnny Gioeli and Jason Morris. All right, we got Johnny Gioeli and Jason Morris here. Jason is a longtime friend of the show, and he's going to tell us the story about how he and Johnny got hooked up, and we'll go from there.
Hey,
Johnny.
tell the truth, Jason. Tell the truth. Truth
Yeah,
will
I'll
set
try.
you free, bro.
Shit, I didn't know this was
basically,
confessional night.
I mean, we started. I forgot who. I must have reached out to you first, but
I ignored you.
it was about 6 years ago already.
Yeah, about 6. You actually reached out to Josh Ramos, guitar player of Hardline,
That's right.
originally.
That's
So go
right.
ahead.
No, I was just trying to piece it together, just like you. And then you responded, and you were talking about because your son Brandon, and he was in some sort of martial art at that time, right?
That's right.
Well, he was doing something, and you had get this, guys. Johnny is a pilot, on top of all his other things, and that struck me really to the core because my dad was a pilot. So. And Johnny's only in Connecticut, so there's an airport right near me. So we just started talking, and he was like, "Yeah, maybe one time I'll come up." I didn't think he was serious, but we left it open, and we've been talking back and forth for quite a long time. On email, nothing major. We weren't dating or anything until now.
No, until now, we got-
I thought I was going to have to start handing out roses. We handing out roses tonight? What the hell's going on?
So I had a committee in my local area for the 25th anniversary of me winning my Olympic silver medal, and my 50th birthday coincided with this street naming thing. So once I knew that this was going to happen, I knew I wanted to do an event, make it a big deal because it was a big deal to me to have a street named after me. I wanted my girls to be there, and it was really a town thing. So, anyways, I just reached out to Johnny. I never thought in a million years that he would even remotely. I don't even know if he would respond, but I had his cell phone. I texted him, and within 10 minutes, I mean, he blew me away. Within 10 minutes, he texted me back that he was in, and we had never met. I don't know why, and he'll fill in the blanks of what was going through his mind as to why that he even remotely wanted to entertain this.
Oh, well, I knew, you can sense good people, right away. And I knew that Jason was good people. And yeah, we would text back and forth, and he's just such a great down to earth guy. And yeah, so the first time that I wore a Jason Morris t-shirt was in Italy. Do you remember this? I stood on a table.
Oh, yeah. No,
I stood on a table and I did the old kung fu thing. I didn't even know the damn difference between judo and kung fu. That's how stupid some musicians are. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. So yeah, that was the first time that Josh said, yeah, there's this guy named Jason Morris, and he's an Olympian, he's champion, blah, 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 this whole thing. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And yeah, somehow we started connecting. But yeah, man, I mean, I was honored. I mean, who gets not many people get their name, a street named after him. But I will tell you, for 1995, he went and had the decal. He just posted on that green sign. He's going to get in trouble eventually.
Just a big magnet, just going to stick. It's just stuck on there.
And it's already peeling off and shit. So I mean, forget about it. It's all right. No, it was such an honor. I said, yeah. And what was such a bummer was I actually sold that airplane. It was because Jason, you told me, you said your kids like to crank up Hardline and Axel Rudi Pell and stuff and train or whatever to the music. I said, you know what? I'm going to fly in and just hang out with everybody. And then, just life takes over. And I sold that airplane. And then when he told me he was getting a street named after him. I was completely jealous and pissed off because I wanted a street named after me. No, I wasn't. I was like, bro, I'm going to be there. Are you kidding? So, yeah, my wife, son, and I, we drove up because the plane was gone at this time and had a great time. I mean, that was an awesome day, man, wasn't it?
Incredible. Incredible.
Awesome day.
Well, let me give you a little backstory, guys. This is not me just reaching out to some guy. You know, my wife and I have been listening to Johnny's music ever since Hardline, and we've loved. I mean, he's got one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best voices in rock. Period. And there's no question. And we've been fans for 25 years, long before I reached out to him. And the neat thing was my wife too. She doesn't really like a ton of my music. But Johnny's one of the guys that she'll listen to and has on her playlist. So the whole thing started from the genesis was that. But I've been
common ground. You got common ground. You know, when
sure.
when you and your wife has common ground, that's even better. You know.
And I've been training to Johnny's music for years. It's been playing in the dojo long before I got the honor to meet him and meet his family, which just blew me right out of the water. That I assumed that he would just, you know, once we got the thing going, he would just swoop in. But he brought his wife and his son Brandon, and I was just like jaw drop. I said, I cannot believe this guy would do that. He doesn't know me from Adam, and that was incredible, Johnny. Still, you know, to this day, best day ever.
Bro, Jason, cool. That wasn't my wife. That was my girlfriend.
Oh, I shouldn't say anything.
No, we did.
Somebody's gonna see this on video.
Had to crack some jokes. It was like crashing a family picnic. It was awesome to play on the little stage and just like it was awesome. Yeah, I loved it. I'd do it again.
Did you play?
Yeah, we did.
You know that video that
Bill,
Jason
sent you that thing 10
Jason
times.
has shared that video with us several times.
I've seen it. He sent it to us email.
Yeah,
or he Dropboxed it or something. I don't remember what it was, but I remember seeing
it. And you had a couple hot dogs. It was awesome, man.
And let me tell you something, guys.
We actually got personal invitations. He invited us up there.
I remember
right the video.
Yeah.
Say that again,
Alex,
Jason.
Did you hear that video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, because it had the one channel, and I pulled the audio off of it and sent you the file with it in both channels?
Right.
Yeah.
He sounds better live than his record. It's incredible.
That's a testament to somebody that takes care of themselves.
Well,
let me give you a little more backstory on this. Now, even more how amazing to me. You know, I'm not a professional musician. Alan and Dennis, you guys are musicians, right?
Thank you for not saying professional.
Yeah, we're way from professional, but we are musicians. At least I played Saturday night.
Back there, bro. That's a great little head. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, my 51. That's my backup. I actually have an EVH Stealth that I use.
Nice.
And
nice.
yeah, it was.
Sorry, we got into music. We got into
sorry
equipment mode.
It is kind of a yeah.
Sorry.
No
problem,
dude.
So, anyways, so Johnny agreed to come, but all right, what's the next step? I got to get a band, right? I'm not a player. I happen to have a friend who has a semi-professional band. His name's Dan Wass. So the second after Johnny agreed, that was my next call to get a band together. And luckily, Dan pulled it together. And Dan didn't know Johnny. Johnny doesn't know Dan. He just drove in, got on the stage, and played with this band that he had no idea. I mean, these guys could have been, absolute zeros. But the faith that he had in this thing, and I mean, it sounded like Alan, you heard it. It sounded so great. I was just blown away. I still can't believe you did that. And then when I asked Johnny, because I assumed that you've done this before, he goes, "Never, bro."
Never again.
I'm backlining my equipment, but not my players. You know what I'm saying?
So you guys can appreciate how amazing it was for Johnny to do that. He played with these guys.
Come in blind like that and play with a band you never played with.
Fun, man. That's like
those balls I beg around, dude.
That's like the going back many, many years when you just sit in with someone and just, it was about playing music and enjoying the day and celebrating his day, man. That's one hell of a freaking accomplishment.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome, man.
realize he is a 7-degree, triple, quadruple black belt in Ting Bling Tang Tang Ching Bing. You can't reach that status, bro. That doesn't happen.
And Chuck Norris is actually a little nervous of the guy.
You
know what I'm saying?
I saw it on a T-shirt. It says Chuck Norris feels Jason Morris.
Yes, I know, man. But anyway, no, that was a fantastic day, and of course, I always had to bust some balls, and I couldn't wait to grab the microphone to roast him a little bit. You have to. And I told him that I was jealous, and I wanted my name on the sign too, and I was going to put it on a swivel, so when the wind blows, some days it's going to be Johnny Gioeli Street, other days Jason Morris Street. Screw it, man. We're sharing this. Anyway, we had a lot of fun. And my wife and my son Brandon, and yeah, he used to be into martial arts. Now he's a big hockey player, 14 years old, breaking our balls every day with hockey.
Cool.
I have more freaking broken windows than I've had hot meals. So,
well,
it's a good.
Let's jump into talking about Hardline's new album.
Okay. What do you want to know? Okay, so we built this album. Here's what happened. So I actually have, between all the projects, so my main focus, of course, was Hardline. That started in 1992 with Double Eclipse. It's a very sort of known as like a classic record. And I didn't realize how classic it was until my daughter, who's now a senior in college, she was upstairs and she yelled down, she said, "Dad, you're on VH1. No, it gets better. It gets better.
Wow.
Pause. Classics.
Yeah.
Go to your room. So VH1 Classics. But anyway, 1992, that album was released. And since then, between Hardline and Axel Rudi Pell, that's sort of my heavy hard rock, metalish, old school Black Sabbath-y band out of Germany, out of Bochum, Germany. And then Crush 40, there it is. Rhythm from a Red Car. Yeah. She threw me rhythm! Sorry. But, and then I wrote a lot of music for Sega for all the little Sonic the Hedgehog games. It was
right.
Cool.
20 years, man.
That's what Crush 40 is. That's what
Crush 40 is. It became a band that created like soundtrack music for those games. So between all those projects, I think I have 50, 60 albums out worldwide. So it's been a really great run. But every few years I make a Hardline record, but this last record, Human Nature, hit the international top 100 Billboard Heat Seekers. So I was like,
really, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like, wait a minute. So what's happening?
Got
here?
some energy.
So yeah, I mean, I haven't with Axel I've charted. I've got a few gold records and stuff like that, but Hardline hasn't charted since '92, and not Rhythm from Red Car, but Hot Cherie went to number 4, Taking Me Down, number 6, Can't Find My Way, number 8 in the Billboard Top 10. People don't realize that. We
Johnny, by the way, I'm almost getting sick of Dr. Love because after you played, that was one of the songs he played at my street sign, and the kids that were there, they play it constantly in the dojo. It's always on. It's always on.
Dr. Love.
I mean that's one of my favorite songs. But it's every time I walk in the dojo, and if the kids are there first, that song's on.
Oh, that's great. I love those kids, man. That's wild.
Go ahead, sorry.
That's some old school kind of rock stuff. So for younger kids to embrace that sound gives me some hope, because I can't do with this shit that they're playing now, man. What my son is listening to upstairs. Oh my God. What? Okay, there he is. Come here, Brandon. This is my son, Brandon. Come on, say hi to YouTube.
Hi.
Get down here. There he is.
Hey, Brandon.
It looks like, hey, Brandon.
Oh, God, he hurts me. He's so strong. So my son, Brandon, is he's a what you call a AAA Tier 1 hockey player, and he's on the Junior Wolf Pack. So he's on like the New York Rangers path. I don't know if you guys are into hockey. He's a top level youth guy, and also a very, very, very smart kid. So he's high honors in school. Get upstairs and do your homework. So he's hell of a drummer, an amazing inborn drummer. I showed him a few things, and forget it. He's great. So this kid has opportunity whichever way he wants to take it. That's awesome. Now go up and study for your Spanish test. Not that you speak Spanish in the house anymore.
Senor. They're going to speak Spanish in the house. Taco. Hey, do you know
taco burrito?
I say tequila in my house a lot.
At dinner, he asked me for some ice cubes in Spanish. I'm like, whoa, take it easy. All right?
It's Italian. Don't be...
Real quick, though, I was listening to Human Nature on the way home, and the one video that you had, I did go on YouTube and watched a shitload of your videos on YouTube this weekend. The Where We Go From Here, that was a video, right? That was your first video that came out, which is really cool. I tell you what, Trapped in Muddy Waters.
You like that tune?
I fucking love that tune, dude.
Yeah, that's a cool tune.
It's got a blues kind of bass to it, but I'm going to tell you right now, and I told you this before when we started. You go back to Old Sherry and stuff like that. How old were you when you did that?
So young 20s.
20s, and you're now what?
Now
25, 26 years older.
You need to be honest, you're
25 in each leg. So yeah, no, I just turned 50.
Well, I'm 52. So, but the thing is, your voice today still sounds as fresh as it did back then.
Oh, thanks.
And, there's not a lot of people that can say that.
Well, that's right.
Our heroes are, the people that we listen to forever, the Paul Stanleys, the John Dawkins, the people that we really love, that we grew up on, cannot hit those high notes anymore, and they cannot even get close.
I don't know why, bro. I got to be honest with you. I don't know why. And I never forget, working with Neil Sean. Now, Neil is just such a brilliant guitar player,
right?
Amazing writer. And he always told me, too, way back then, he said, as you get older, man, he goes, I can't wait to hear your voice when you get older, Johnny. So I'm 20, at the time, 23, 24, whatever. And he goes, when you get older, it's really going to be refined and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, whatever. But I don't know what it is, man. I just, I sing a lot. I drive the house insane. I'm singing all the time.
That's good, though.
So if I just finished 4 albums in 4 months. That's an album a month.
Wow.
In the cave of hell, nonstop. So,
Johnny, whatever you're doing it good. Because, like I said, it's really, it's just amazing. And like I said, I love the way these songs are on this latest album, To the Human Nature. That came out when 2016.
I think it's 2 years.
Yeah, 16.
But like I said, I was unsure about that song, and producer Alessandro was the keyboard player. I sang that one top to bottom, and sent it off. And I'm like, I don't know about this one. He goes, are you kidding me? It's perfect. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a blues guy. I'm really not. I'm not a blues guy.
I tell you, it fits. And it's one of those things where, I was listening to the whole album, first time through, and there was not one time I had to get up and go, because I'll do that. You give me an album, I've had enough of that song, and I'll go through. Dude, I listened to the whole thing. I was like I was entertained the whole time.
No piss break.
Nope, no piss break.
Wow, I'm impressed, bro. Thank you.
I did take one though when I was listening to the live album, because there was a drum solo, and so an automatic. Nothing personal. I love Bobby Rock, but it was like I gotta go now.
There was a keyboard solo and a drum solo that I went, sorry, I don't do solos.
Don't worry, man. Actually, when you did it, I went and took a crap, so it's all right. Yeah.
That's just a thing on this show. We talk about that all the time. It's like that's pee break time.
But I was telling these guys earlier, I said, it's one of these things where, I'm in the know of music and know of a lot of obscure bands, but for some reason that shit just went off my radar somehow. It's just one of those things. And when the stuff like this newer album came out, of course, you're not going to hear about it because nobody promotes that shit anymore. Yeah. It's basically the fan base who you had before is going to be promoting it and helping share it and what. Look at the bill. He's like, he's done.
He's sweating.
If you're not watching video,
Sweating, dude.
I keep my house at 68, so it's not too bad.
That baby. All right.
But
yeah.
Like I said, this album.
What's incredible is that audience still lives in Europe. It's funny. I don't think I could put 10 people in Starbucks, but in Europe, I play for 20,000 and up. Usually
Awesome.
40,000, 50,000 people. And here, I mean, I seriously, I'd be lucky to fill a Dunkin' Donuts. It's just so different. It's different. You know, they hold on to the music. They stick to what they love.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Jason's he's rare, man. That he's held on.
He's one of your 20 in the Dunkin' Donuts, right?
You know,
Well, you can include me now because I'll be there.
I'd come to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
I've been telling Johnny lately that my girls cannot stand rock. It's driving me crazy.
Oh, I got a message from Jason the other day. He goes, my kid's got a new disc and it says, I can't stand it. I can't take it.
I got that one too from him. What are we gonna do? I don't know. I said eBay the damn kids. Forget about it. They got to play rock. Get them the hell out of the house.
I must be lucky then, because
my rock and roll friend. How can they be listening to pop? I mean, oh my god.
I have a 17-year-old. He listens to the same stuff I do. Then he has this other side of him that I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah.
But
Johnny,
I get in my car occasionally. It's on country radio, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm seizuring.
If I can appreciate some of the writing, I always try to find the good in the writing, but I'm not a big country song fan. I don't know.
Old country, yes. This new stuff, no.
Some of it.
Johnny, can you talk a little bit about Neil Sean as far as, you know, how did you get to be tied up with him, and then, you know, how did that go from there, and what happened after the fact, and, you know, just,
sure, man. Yeah,
just kind of interested in that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So jogging my memory. So Neil actually was together and married to my sister for about 8 years. A lot of people.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
that's helpful.
And
That's
so,
helpful.
well, yeah, but it's not what you think.
Yeah. Okay.
So every year we'd celebrate because we were all West Coasters, we're all California people, and not originally. Originally, I'm from New York, but we'd go back. My family home was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, the Amish country. What a transition that was. So I moved from Howard Beach, being neighbors with the gangster John Gotti, to Lancaster among the Amish. And I swear, today I still think it's witness protection. My dad's not talking. But anyway, so every Christmas we'd have family Christmas together, and Neil would come back, and we never asked anything of Neil. My brother and I were in a very, very popular band called Brunette in Hollywood. We did very, very well with that band, and we even I seen the Kiss thing. I'm remembering we turned down an offer from Gene Simmons when he had his label. We turned down a record deal from Gene, and we had good success, this, that, and the other. And we never never bothered Neil. Neil had at the time it was Bad English he was doing, blah, blah, blah. Well, one Christmas, this was 89 or 90, we were back having Christmas, and my brother and I were working on a project called Brothers, and it was going to be like, remember Ricky Nelson's kids, the Nelsons?
Yeah.
I live without your love and affection. That's whatever. And we were going to do a hard rock version of like Brothers. It was going to be Joey and I, Brothers, of course, and heavy stuff though. And we were in the kitchen. I'll never forget it. And I was playing a song called Face the Night, which I think I played on that God's album we were talking before we started recording.
Which we will get back to.
Yes. Okay. And Neil comes running into the kitchen. Hey, man,
Sprinting.
Okay, now every time I talk Neil, I always do his voice. Like, hey, man, what's happening, man? I can't help it, but I do Neil's voice. So Neil goes, man, check it out, man. Let me see that guitar. And he grabbed the guitar from me, and he was like, try this, try that, try this. And Neil's chord knowledge is so intense, but don't ask him what the chord is. He can't tell you. He'll look and say, it's like a G minor 7th, augmented flat, sharp 7th, minor. He doesn't know. That guy is so brilliant, he just plays. But anyway, he took this song and he brought it to a whole new chord level. And so
That was so Dr. Evil. I'm sorry. I was just fucking dying on it. So Neil Sean is Dr. Evil, is what you're saying. Sorry.
Hey, Neil, you want to come on our show?
No, I mean it just sounds like Dr. Evil. Anyway, go ahead.
So so I said, hey Neil, would you be interested in producing this record? Because I was blown away at what he did immediately with courting. He said, well, I'm really busy with Bad English. I'm working on the second album after that. When I See You Smile, that album, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He said, but I'll tell you what, here's what we'll do. I'll go to the studio, and then you just stay at my house and write all day. When I come home from the studio, we'll see what you wrote, and we'll refine the stuff and work together. And I literally did that every day religiously. It was amazing, too. Where's my wife? It's upstairs. Okay. So we had this. So Neil had this beautiful place that he rented up in Laurel Canyon in sort of, we call it, Hollywood. Well, it's actually the valley in the hills. And he rented it from this actress who was friends with all the damn models, and even Pam Anderson was her friend. And so I'd be sitting there writing, and then Samantha Phillips, Pam Anderson, walking by. I'm like, happy. But anyway,
Suddenly he's 12.
He's writing all kinds of songs about love guns and stuff like that. Rockets in my pockets.
So I literally would write all day. Neil would come back from the studio at night and he'd go, okay, Johnny, what do you have? And I said, okay, well, I got this song called, I was working on, it's called, Can't Find My Way. It's like, okay, great. And we would we built all those songs for Double Eclipse on this little Tascam, little cassette thing. It was a little 8-track to cassette. I don't know if you remember these things. And that's what we used. We used that. We had a little synth guitar and just guitar and drum machine. I'd play with my fingers. And we built that whole album. Of course, we didn't record it that way, but we built it that way. And what happened was Neil was having such a great time bringing him back to his Journey feeling days of writing music to write music, because he saw, look, we were a bunch of young punks, and I wasn't thinking about the money. I wasn't thinking about the fame. I was thinking about the song. I wanted to get the song and the message out and the power and the whole thing. And Neil felt all that, and he loved it. He really, he fell in love with it. And to this day, I feel bad because we broke up Bad English. He was like, man, screw that shit. I want to freaking rock, man. And
interesting.
He's like, screw that shit, man. Freaking shit. When I see you fucking smile, shit. So, here's the irony. This is where it gets crazy. So Neil he comes to us and he says, I want to join this band. And we're like, no, man.
You're not a brother.
Bend over, man. Come on. So we said, no, we have an entirely different vision of what we want. We're a bunch of long-haired things and, guys, and it just wasn't the image we were looking for. And he was really upset, man. He went back to my sister. He says, I'm fucking Neil Sean, man. Your brothers don't want me. He literally said that, which was funny. And I said to my brother, I said, what are we, crazy? This is Neil Sean, man. And this guy is brilliant. He is awesome. I'm telling you guys, this guy is such an amazing musician. What he hears, what goes on in his head is quite unbelievable. It's like he can hear not only just the melody, but he can hear the layers, and he can hear what kind of sound, like, oh man, I need like a Rhodes kind of, piano thingy here and a synth under. He can hear it all. He's really, really brilliant musician. I think probably one of the most underrated guitar players out there. And this guy, a lot of people don't know, he's like one take guy. You know what that means? There's no edits. He doesn't do it again. Okay, do it again. All right, try one more time. He's like a one take guy. He always wanted to do more. We're like, okay, Neil, run one more. But it's just like, dude, you're crazy. Listen to this take. Really great. So, I mean, I'm so grateful for that whole experience. So we made Double Eclipse. We recorded in some of the best places like A&M, and it was just a thrill. I was this young punk, just like, oh my God, we had $8.5 million record deal, and we were on our way. And then we toured the world, we toured the U.S. a bunch of times. We were very successful. We sold a lot of records, and then I'll never forget one of the big music guys, a man by the name of John Kolodner. You may or may not know John Kolodner. He's responsible for signing a lot of massive bands. And he came to us and he said, it's over, guys. We're like, what? He goes, it's over. MTV's not going to play videos anymore. They're going to play like, reality shows, and your video is not going to be seen. And check this band out. They're called Pearl Jam. And we're like, what the hell's a Pearl Jam? And so we played it. We're like, what is, what the hell is that?
And there's this thing called Nirvana,
So all that.
Do I feel that way? No, I don't feel like that.
And so like a North Korean nuke, it was gone. It was over. It was like, holy shit, what has just happened here? And the whole industry changed. And
so at that point, what did Neil do? Did Neil just said, look, I'm going to go back to Journey, or I'm done at this point? I mean, is that when he went back to Journey, or was...
No, so Neil, I was actually the guy responsible for getting them back together with Steve Perry. I remember that the Eagles came off of the tour, off of their, I forget which tour.
Hell Freezes Over.
Hell Freezes, maybe that one. And they made like $17 billion. And I said, Neil, come on, man. Go out on the road. Put Journey back together. Just be friends with Steve. I mean, come on, you guys. I mean, it's like the Rolling Stones. You can all do these little solo projects, and and it's nothing unless it's the whole band together. So yeah, you guys are all great individually, and it's wonderful. But that band, come on, man. And so they worked on their relationship, and they got to back together. And then I guess there was some issues that I don't want to talk about, but there were some issues, and then it kind of fell apart again. Right. But Neil had no desire at that point to put Journey back together again. So yeah, so then I took some time. So when you're a young kid, so I've been playing since I was 11 years old professionally. So I don't remember many days in school, and I worked, man. I knew exactly what I want. My friends were playing with Tonka toys. I was writing songs. It's just what I wanted. It's true. It really is true. And,
that's cool.
And it's what I want. It's what I laser focused on it, and it can happen. Just like the effort that Jason has put into his career. You put your mind there, you put your body, your spirit, your soul, your heart in it, you can make anything happen. There's nothing you can't do. You just got to be really laser focused, and you've got to dedicate it all to that. So I did just that. And then you build these songs that you've been working on all your life. You have this massive record deal. You're in every magazine. You're playing Wembley. I got a good Wembley story for you guys. And next thing you know, boom, it's gone. So I needed a few years to recover from that and a little bit of therapy. No, I didn't need the therapy, but I needed some years to recover from that. That was a tough one. That's why everyone said, well, where did you go, man? I said, I needed to get my arms around that loss. That was a loss. You know what I mean?
A huge
loss. For us fans too, Johnny.
Oh, thank you, bro. That was tough. And then it was
that was crushing for a fan. I mean, you were the best thing that came out, in years for a guy like me. And like you said, just gone. Where is this band?
Wow, thanks, man. I'll send you the check tomorrow. Thank you. No, I appreciate it, Jason. Thanks, man. But I needed time, man, to recover from that shit. That was brutal. And then not only did my world change, the world changed, music world changed, everything changed. And I'm like, what am I going to do? And the record company even said, hey, you know what? Let's keep going. But he said, Johnny, you can do a little. I'm like, no, I can't.
Here's a flannel shirt. Why don't you put this on?
So I needed to recover from that shit. So I disappeared for a while. And then it was this guy named Serafino Perugino. And he has this label called Frontiers, and I know you know Frontiers,
Yep.
the label. And he was just starting, and he said, Johnny, I want to do a Hardline record. I said, what the hell is a Hardline record? He goes, I want to do another Hardline record. He's Italian. I can make fun of him because I am Italian. And I said, no. He goes, I'll give you X amount of money. And I said, no. And then a week later, I'll give you this much money. And I said, not about the money. No, I'll give you this much. When it was that much money, that's when I said yes. No, it wasn't.
Three's a charm.
It was fear, man. It was a lot of fear. Because I knew everyone would compare Double Eclipse, that record, rightfully so, great record. But here we are years later. I'm not going to make that record again. That record was made. So anything I make, you make, oh, it kind of sounds like, oh, it's sort of, blah, blah, blah. But I can never make that record again. So I'm over the fear now, but I was scared back then. But it was, I owe it to Serafino for pushing. And he pushed until finally I said, okay, I'll do it. And that's when that Hardline 2 record came out. And then I experimented a little bit. Anyway, I think I've got it right now.
What was the gap between 1 and 2?
I don't know. That's when I did my pole dancing at the.
Hopefully that was a short career, right?
It was a short career. Good.
I mean, you're good. You're good looking, but you know what I'm saying.
It was a short career, all right. I often perform at the Braille Institute. But okay. Anyway, I don't know, man. It was years, right, Jason?
Looks like it was about 10 years.
It was brutally long.
I know, you killed me there.
Sorry, bro.
I was dying to win the next record.
It's tough, man, because when you then you have this family and you have children and life is a balance, and you want to be a good dad, you want to be a good rock star, you want to be a good everything, and it's so you got to give like equal time to all that stuff. And I'm not one of those rock and roll guys where I shut the doors. Everybody leave me alone. I need to create. No, I can't do that, man. If there's a hockey game, I'm going to the hockey game. I'll write later. You know what I mean? So the creative process can take a long time, and I'm not. I like writing my stuff, and I like collaborating with people too. But it's gotta be me. It'd be easy just to buy a bunch of songs and record and put out an album, but I just can't do that. So it's taken me 2 years to do my solo album, and it's because I had to write every lyric, every melody, and work with a great guitar player. We can talk more about that later.
Cool. So before we started recording, we were talking about the Live at the Gods Festival.
Yeah.
And we stopped that conversation because we wanted to continue that conversation on the show because it was getting a little fun.
Well, it was fun for us, maybe not so much for you.
It was brutal, man. That was, as a musician, you always have that show that you hate, and that show happened to be freaking recorded. It was a late night. It was 2 a.m. when we went on because everything ran late. Wow. And these festival shows, you have to be patient. Even though you're the headliner, you can't. I'm not one of those asshole musicians. I'm not going to name who they are, but I'm not one of them who I'm going to cut your set short so that I can get on time. I let it go. Let everybody play. It's good. But we ended up going on at 2 a.m. Let me tell you something. My bedtime is about 8:15 p.m. So 2 a.m, that's a tough one. No, I'm just kidding. But that was late. And then the crew is so wasted, tired from all day. And they're like, I need a little more of this. Okay, whatever. They don't give a shit if you're freaking Paul Stanley. They're like, I'm sorry. They're tired. So everything, I was kicking monitors, I was throwing shit. I was a real asshole that night, and I just hated that show. But
it sounds good, though.
But it's a good record.
Good, though. It sounds good, dude.
I was tight, man. I can remember it, man. There's just those things you remember. Here's a funny story for you guys. So this is 1993. We're on tour with Extreme, and we're doing 2 nights sold out at Wembley. And my wife was with me, and she hits me. She said, "Oh, God, look at that guy." I'm like, "What guy?" She said, "Look at that guy over there. He thinks he's Roger Daltrey." And I said, "Honey, Later, I was on a plane from L.A. to England with him and his wife, and we were up in the foo-foo class, and he signed for my wife, "I am Roger Daltrey." It was awesome.
Isn't that great?
Anyway, this career has brought me to meet some of the greatest people, like Jason, like you guys. For me now, it's about enjoying the memory, enjoying the music, being true to it, meeting people. I love the fans, man. I'm out there with the people. I try to give as much as I can because I am really, truly grateful. I really am, man. I wake up and I go, wow, this is so cool. I can still make albums. I can tour all over the world. I'm booked through 2019. You see if there's something for the family, my wife's like, where are you on July 21st? Oh, I'm in Poland, honey. Sorry. I can't make the luncheon. So I'm so grateful, man. So
Johnny, could you share with the guys and update us basically on your solo project?
Sure, yeah. So here's what happened, guys. This is interesting. So I've made a shit ton of records, and I've never wanted to do a solo. I'm not like a solo guy. I'm probably the worst. I have the worst lead singer ego ever. I just don't have it. I'm not into that kind of shit. I'm a musician. I make music. I put out albums, and I love people and I love music, and that's it. But anyway, there's a young kid at the time. He was just turned 19, local friend of our family, and he dove into the Long Island Sound here, and he hit a rock and on his head, and he is paralyzed from the neck down, and we were devastated. Now this happens all the time, everywhere. There's so many. This happens, these accidents, but when it's in your backyard, basically, it hit me, and I was like, the community came together for this kid. He has a fund me page, and and for someone with paralysis in their lifetime, it's easy $8 million plus. I mean, you can't imagine the care that's needed, and that just to have normal, what we would call normal functioning day. So I said, I got to do something. What the hell can I do? I mean, everyone was cutting checks, and that's cool, and I could have cut a check too, but I want to do something more. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to prove to the world, because this world is missing just such fundamental basics, love. I'm going to prove that I can create something musically. I'm going to involve all the fans around the world, and we're going to take care of this young man named Joe Barber. So I decided to do a solo album, but do it through Pledge Music. Now, it will be released on Frontiers in July. They just moved it to July 13th. And it's called One Voice. And you guys, we set a goal, and we're going to donate to Joe. And we have people from Afghanistan, from Japan, from Germany, Sweden, Norway, all over Syria, Bulgaria, the world, donating money to a kid they don't know. They do it because they know where my heart is at with this kid. And I mean, if that isn't a testament of loving music, supporting humanity, I don't know what is. So we're 212% of our goal. I mean, so the goal is it's off the charts. So it's
awesome.
Pledgemusic.com/Johnny Gioeli. So pledgemusic.com/Johnny Gioeli. I gave away literally like all my memorabilia, backstage passes, original shirts from Hardline, you name it. I gave it all away as what we call exclusives, and then people donate. And here's a cool story, you guys. So, we get wrapped up in the media, and, I wish there was like a happy news channel, but we hear.
There's not. Sorry.
Like I watch David Muir, 30 minutes, I get sick. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you say something good happened today? But anyway, I'll never forget my son. He was a lot younger, Brandon, who you guys just met. And he came to me, he goes, Dad, why don't we just drop a big ass bomb on Afghanistan? I was like, I said, Brandon, let me read something to you. And I just gotten a fan letter from a brother and sister, massive Johnny Gioeli Hardline fans, young kids in Afghanistan. And they said, Johnny, we love your music. It is so lifting. It's so positive. We live in a tough area. Yeah, you think? And you lift us every day, and we love your music. And I said, Brandon, you want to drop a bomb on them? He was like, oh, my God. I said, Brandon, there's beautiful people all around this world. They're kids just like you that want to love, be healthy, have fun, play sports, listen to music. It's wild, man. I played places like Bulgaria. Bulgaria was a communist area. It was illegal to play rock music. You could only play, you'd get thrown in jail. You could only play Bulgarian music. Now they're just now wearing AC/DC shirts, man. It's freaking wild. You go over there, it's like, hey, nice Scorpions shirt. It's unbelievable. These people are so grateful for the music. So anyway, I can go on and on and on. Can you tell?
Yeah.
It's all great stories, though. It's cool.
That's your latest project, right, Johnny?
That's my. So we have a new Axl Rudi Pell album coming out called Night's Call, and we're touring. We're in March next month, April. We do our first leg all throughout Europe, Czech Republic, and all over the place. So I have an Axl Rudi Pell record, Night's Call, coming out. I have my solo album coming out, and then I also recorded a very special solo album with Dean Castronovo, who was the extra for Journey. So as you know, Dean is may or may not know, Dean's a phenomenal drummer, of course, but he's also a phenomenal singer. And we just put together a really beautiful album together. We flew to Italy and worked on it. And so that's coming out probably fall. Yeah, 2018 fall, this fall. So I mean, I've been busy like a hooker on a Saturday night.
I'm going to say, what day do you have just to Netflix and chill? Do you have one of those days?
I'll tell you the honest God's truth. Pretty much zero. Today, I got to tell you the honest God's truth. Today was like my first day off. Like where I said, what am I going to do today? And I literally went into the forest and I sat there. Like listening to
You didn't
I
look
did.
this up on YouTube and watch Ages of Rock videos all day?
I'm going to do that tomorrow. I've got that slated for tomorrow.
What the hell?
I've been watching Hardline like all weekend.
You've been listening to this stuff all weekend. You could at least watch one video, man.
I'm sorry.
Really? Killing us.
Well,
You
Johnny,
watch this one.
when that project comes out, we would like to get you and Dean on the show
I can do
to
that
help
too.
you guys promote it.
Absolutely, bro. We will do that. Yes.
I'd love to have you back.
Yeah. Dino's a great guy. Dean went through a lot of, difficult times. He went through, we all have our skeletons.
Yeah.
Dean is a great human, and I've always loved Dean. We had a lot of fun on the road. Oh my God, did we have a lot of fun. He's like Keith Moon. He's unbelievable. So he went through some tough times, and I would text him, "Are you okay, bro? Everything good? Strong? You doing good?" Blah blah blah. And then we decided, hey man, it's been too long. Let's do something together. And that's when we made this record. It's a nice AOR, good tunes, just nice straight rock, lots of melody. We harmonize like two gay guys. It's great.
I love that.
Nothing against gay guys. Just saying.
Like I said, we try to keep these things to an hour or so, and like I said, it's been going on. We're definitely going to have you're going to have part 2 at some point.
Yeah, man, we'll do it.
So we loved it. What do you want to give us some promotion? Give us some of your where to find you, what you're promoting. Spill it out. And then you can always go to the Hardline page. Hardline has a Facebook page, and we're tweeting and we're twatting and we're twatting and whatever. We're doing all that stuff. So you can always find us online, and all the tour dates are there. Literally, I'm literally solid until 2019. There's even shows in 2019 already. So I'll be with Axl
April, May, I'm with Hardline and Axl. I'm doing a show with Deep Purple. We're headlining a bunch of shows. Who else?
Oh, Johnny, that show that you were telling me about with are you playing with? Is it Hardline, or are you playing with those other groups?
No, okay. So for the week that I want you to go, dude, you got to go. We'll have a blast. We're playing. we're headlining in Germany, so that'll be a good 20, 30,000 seater. You'll love it, dude. I'll give you the VIP treatment. I'll even get you chicks, whatever you want. Terry.
Yeah, Terry's gonna love that.
Hey, can I sign up? Can I go? No, I can't. I'm married.
Germany, and then we're headlining also in Switzerland, and then we're doing a show with Deep Purple, and so it's like quick, man. That's and then the following week is Hardline and the Masters of Rock in the Czech Republic, and then we're in England somewhere. I don't know. We're 4 shows in England. I don't remember what city. So that's July. August, I had some spare time, and then back out September, October. November, I don't have a back out with Axl, and then I'm doing a Legends tour with Joe Lynn Turner.
Oh, that thing. What's that about?
So there's a group called Bonfire. You know Bonfire, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Bonfire and Friends, we're doing what we call a Legends tour, and it's awesome. You know, a lot of rock guys take tour buses. We're taking a tour train. So we have a custom train, and everybody has their own car. When you get old like us, man, we our backs are bad. We need some nice shit. So, yeah, well, freaking bus. We want a damn train now. So anyway, no, that's going to be awesome. So that's in November. So I literally finish with Axl on November 4th, and November 5th, I'm flying to Frankfurt, and I start the Bonfire Legends tour. And that goes, and I fly home on Thanksgiving.
But do you play with Bonfire, or do you bring Hardline? So it will be Bonfire is the band, and then we're going to play a few Hardline hits. So everybody, each guy plays
like a super group. Of some sort.
It's like a big super group.
Okay.
Plays a couple of their hits and makes for a really cool, evening of.
So do you play on this side of the pond, like?
Man,
Ever?
He can't get a Dunkin' Donuts to book him.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Go to Nashville and play with the residency down there. We'll come down there.
It is a fucking shame, dude.
I've turned down a lot of offers to play here. It's not that I don't want to play here, but I shouldn't say the audience isn't here. They're here, but right now my band is primarily European band. I could not get them in. I could not get them cleared for a show I did in Chicago. I can't get them work visas. It's freaking
interesting.
Yeah, Christopher Williams told us about that when we interviewed him about Accept.
Yeah, it's really a problem, and I'm nervous that it could happen on the other side. So far, I'm knocking on microphones. I'm nervous because shit can change. England's getting a little crazy with it too. So I hope it doesn't happen. Anyway, that's the real reason why I don't focus here. Is it's nearly impossible to get the members here, and I mean it's not cheap. Thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and they just say no.
Yeah. That's exactly what I mean. Christopher Williams talked about that was a huge issue. That's why you never see Accept. You never see them in the States anymore. They do great in Europe, but they can't even get here. I mean, some of those guys to do a whole show. Didn't he tell us one time that they had a tour booked and they couldn't get 2 of the guys' visas to work or
they couldn't get visas? Like plus, a matter of fact of they keep a crew on retainer basically, and to bring that whole crew over. It's just impossible. I mean, they just can't do that. And to hire a new crew and to bring their equipment over, it's just too much trouble. And it's just a shame. They'll do a few shows, spot shows here and there, but that's it.
Yeah. Johnny, I know you're so busy, but would it ever be entertained to work with other musicians to do your thing anywhere in the States?
Well, that's the plan, bro. Yeah. So 2019, I know we talked about with ARP, we're already aligning some shows in Russia and Syria. You think, like, who plays Syria? We do. It's awesome, man. These people love music. So, and 2019 will be the year that I will really focus on the solo project. And to answer your question, Jason, yeah, we'll do dates here, and yeah, we're gonna do the Dunkin' Donuts tour. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, if Alan and I can get a band together and play all Hardline tunes, will you come and sing with us?
Absolutely, dude.
There you go, Alan.
I will.
We are in trouble.
I'll sit by a window and you can help me out.
Well, two-thirds of us just made a commitment we can't keep.
Do you guys realize you have the world famous, hell with me, Jason Morris is right here.
We do. We love Jason.
Jason's awesome.
I talk to Jason quite a lot on we text back and forth. And like I said, when he came to Atlanta that morning, Bill goes, "You know, Jason's here, aren't you?" And I go, "Jason Morris, he's really here?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he's going, and he told us afterwards, he was like going, he goes, "Man," he goes, "it was so nice meeting you guys. And you're so normal." I'm like going, "Normal? We are normal people. I mean, that's what we are. We're fucking."
The coolest thing was he walks in the room and he has this backpack or this big bag with him. Here, I got shirts, I got hats. You want a hat? You want this? I'm like, hell, I'll go to Atlanta to get free shit anytime.
Hardline marketing guy.
It was awesome. No, he's been a great friend of the show for a very long time, and we really appreciate it.
I get texts from him all the time.
We love Jason, but we love his wife more. Terry's so awesome. She's like the kind of gal you just you meet her, and it's like you know her. Yeah, you've known her all your life. She's that kind of great person. Awesome. And she's got a wonderful family. They're just great people. And so we wear our Jason Morris shirts all the time. So my brother-in-law came to visit because he lives in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I have that one right there. I've got shit. I got them all. I got every damn color.
I got the hat too, but I'm wearing my own hat tonight. So
my brother-in-law goes, "I want that hat. I'm jealous." My brother-in-law goes, "Who the hell is this guy, Jason Morris?" It's all there. My wife's got a shirt on. My son's got a shirt. So, don't you guys have any clothes? Like, no, we like our freaking Jason Morris shirt. So Jason did a great thing for me. I said, "Bro, can you please send them? We're just going to bust their balls. Can you send them some Jason Morris shirts?" So we did. And when they got them, they're like, "Oh, my God." So awesome. But this man's a legend. He's a legend. And I think about – I have so much admiration for this man. What this guy went through, I know you know the whole story, but how you can win and then lose your father, how you could be so high and so low on one day is like, I don't know how a man survived that. So that alone is like gold medal to me. Screw the silver, gold as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, he's a great guy, and he's got a great business there, and he helps a lot of kids, and he breaks a couple of them in half too once in a while by accident.
But just like you said earlier too, though, I mean, when you talk to somebody, I didn't know Jason by the emails and stuff like that and the messages, but you can tell good people. It's not hard to pick out good people.
No.
And we're all three of us are the same way. I've known Bill forever. No, the whole point though. Now Alan, Alan's a little shady. I start to get a little bit closer to him because he's a little bit shady. But Bill's known him longer than I have. But anyway,
the funny thing is
that
Jason
could not have gone any better.
Yeah, I think I have to point out, I don't think Jason is reciprocating the love that we show for him to us because we've never even knew he had a wife. He won't show us pictures of his wife, Johnny.
He has kids. I just thought he bought them off the internet or something. That's why. Is it eBay Kids? Is that what he got?
Let me see what I have here. Oh shit!
Yes, picture.
No, I've seen him on his Facebook page.
Of course.
But Johnny, you're in the biz, man. You meet a lot of guys who are, think quite highly of themselves. And when I met these three, I was kind of blown away at, these guys are regular guys, and I instantly gravitated to them. I probably annoyed them a little bit when I met him in Atlanta, but I instantly was like, oh yeah, these are three of my buddies from home. I mean, you could, just like, you go next door, and that's why I was like, I kind of pushed for you to get on this show because I thought it would be really cool.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here and honored.
Oh, I'm glad you got on. Like I said, I'm just glad. Like I said, I discovered some new music this week that I haven't heard, and I was like, "Oh my God, where has this shit been?" You know, I mean, I'm like,
Man,
yeah, oh, this is awesome.
That's the great. That's really the great thing about doing this podcast is we have had people on here before that, we may not be really familiar with them to, that might not have their whole, album collection, but it really turns us on to listening to different stuff, and it turns us on to getting a little deeper in the catalog. And
Exactly.
That definitely happened today. I mean, I listened to you all day today at work.
Awesome.
Listen to you at work, and I had people come into my office going, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "Dude, check this band out, man. These guys are freaking awesome."
I was texting Bill, and Bill's like going, "It's fucking awesome." I go, "I know. I told you that. It's fucking awesome. Did you hear that?" And he goes, "No, I haven't, but I'm going to." And I'm like, "I just heard it."
Stop it.
Thank you, man.
So, it does help us with that. It helps us get an opportunity to listen to some bands and even some bands in Europe. I mean, we've really kind of got turned on a couple of bands in Europe too that we really have, at least I've come to enjoy a lot. So
there's so much talent out there, and it's not always heard, and that's a shame. But with our technology today, it's just a cool thing that socially these new bands can get out there and push to be heard. And we don't really need record companies anymore. They're just basically like a bank, and
Right.
So it's just a cool thing now, and I just, I live a normal life. I try to balance everything. Like right now, my wife broke another pole, and so I'm going to have to, and, it's okay.
For people who don't have YouTube, you need to get YouTube right now, and you need to watch it.
She bends, somebody put up another pole. It's okay. So I'm sorry, man. I'm a little crazy.
That is perfect. That's a good way to end this show.
Johnny, thank you so much.
Thank you guys, and best of luck to you guys. And I appreciate your support. And Jason, always good to see you, brother. We'll get together.
Come on, Johnny.
Summer, we'll grab a hot dog or something. All right, I'll come up.
Awesome.
Well, you guys don't go away yet.
Everybody hang around for a second. Alan, you want to take us out of here?
Absolutely. Check us out on agesofrock.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Stitcher Radio, and Spotify. Till next week, folks. Peace out. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.